Hi, welcome to the Road to Rich podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Rich, and this is a podcast where we talk about all things entrepreneurship, business, life, you name it. And we have an incredible guest with me, man. I have wanted to talk to you and sit down with you for a long time. Chef Chris Infinger is our guest today. And dude, I will say this with all sincerity. I love eating your food every time I do it, man. And the elegance that you have with your food, man, it's comfortable, it's elegant. Like I love to dine anytime you're cooking, man. It doesn't matter where it's at. So I appreciate you being here, and I'd love to dig into your career and just talk about things that you've experienced. So to get started, what was your first memory of making food?
My first memory of making food, Aaron, is probably first. I'm happy to be here. It's cool to have a conversation with you too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've catered your birthday parties before, which is fun.
For sure.
We played with Star Wars toys.
We play with Star Wars
played
toys
with
together.
Star Wars toys. Sorry for telling your secrets, but
No,
me
it's
and
all
Aaron are
good.
both Star Wars
They
fans.
know, man. They know.
Yeah. My first memory of making food was probably my grandmother was from Macon, Georgia, so very southern, very deep south, like very deep south in Macon, Georgia, right? But she would make this cornbread called Lacey cornbread, and it's just like water and cornmeal, and there's no like rising agent in it, so no like baking soda or anything like that, and it goes into like a hot cast iron skillet, and it's fried in bacon fat. So like my first memory is like probably that bacon fat coming out of like an old Folgers can. Because that's like what,
that sounds
that's
like
what
grandma.
that generation stored fat in was leftover coffee cans that used to be metal.
Yep.
And like her like scooping this bacon fat out and putting it in this cast iron skillet, and I'm like, what in the world is this? And then eating this Lacey cornbread, which is like it almost looks like a hoe cake, but there's no rising agent. So it's very flat and just sprinkled with salt. And I was like, man, this is delicious. Like,
Yeah.
I was probably like 4 or 5 years old, and still to this day I make it because it's so simple, but it is really, really good.
And it brings you back to those moments where you're at grandma's house and just that feeling of home and comfort that way. And, I think that's an important thing.
Yeah. I would say most chefs' earliest memories of food are with like their mom, their dad, or their grandma.
So was that the kind of thing that led you to want to become a chef, or was there some specific moment that really hit you that way?
I think what led me to be a chef was I really liked eating food. And I knew that. My mom was a terrible cook. She still is a terrible cook.
But she's got you.
Yeah,
so
but
it's
my grandmother was an amazing cook. And so it's like, man, I really like eating this delicious food. And didn't grow up with much, like didn't go without, but didn't have much, and still don't, but that's okay, like that's the life of a chef.
Yep.
I don't go out and buy caviar. I eat it in other ways. So it's, but yeah, I think that's where it comes from, is me being young, just loving to eat food, and then realizing like I like to eat certain types of food. And in order to do that, it was just easier to become a chef. And then I'm like, oh, this is cool. Now I can cook this food. And I can, eat it from friends. So being a chef, yes, you get to cook for amazing people, but sometimes it pays off in other ways. Like if I go out to eat at a restaurant, generally they know who I am, and then it's like, oh, I know the chef or the manager or someone, and then that makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure, man. So how do you describe your cooking style?
I would say my cooking style is very local, farm to table like. With like some American steakhouse mixed in. So, I love where we're from. And I think that it's such a unique area because we have an abundance of waterways around us, whether it be the Gulf, the Bay, or rivers, creeks, streams, all which produce things to eat. And we have some really cool farms around us too. And so I would say my cooking style is very, very farm to table Gulf Coast like. And I don't have a problem making grouper imperial, which is very unique to our area. Actually, it's one of the few dishes that we have in our area that's like you really don't see anywhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would say that's it. It's like fresh, local as it can get, and try to know the farmer or know the fisherman or know the person producing the animals or the eggs. That's the big part to me.
And I've definitely noticed that in your cooking that it's like got a Panama City local feel to it that way. And how important do you think it is to source those local ingredients in the menus that you put together?
I mean, that's how I put them together. So very rarely do I make a menu before I find the ingredient, right? So generally I'm going out and finding the ingredient and then making the menu. It's kind of like if you like to hunt or fish, you can't cook the fish before you catch it. So I'll go and find like, oh, these oranges are beautiful today. These collard greens are
and then build it off of that.
And then build it off of the things that I'm finding versus like, oh, I want to make a menu like this and then go hunt those items. It's the reverse. Like, I want to hunt the items first.
Yeah, that makes sense too. Because I mean, not living in a big city, it's not like we have everything accessible to us all the time.
No, we don't have the resources of even some of the bigger southern cities like Atlanta or Birmingham or Mobile, Tallahassee. Even those cities have many more resources than we do here, and it makes it difficult here because it's harder to go find those things. Generally, the people around us are sending their stuff to those cities.
Yeah.
So it's easier accessible, which makes no sense for them than it is us. But, you get out there and you find them and then you build a relationship with them. And then they start recognizing like, oh, we got to keep some of this stuff for home.
Yeah. Well, I like it that it feels so authentically us when I eat your food.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like it's what home should feel like. So
well, I appreciate that because ultimately that's what I want to create is, something that no matter where it is, whether it's in your home with a dinner party or at a restaurant or at a birthday party or a wedding, it's always kind of been this style, and I take a lot of pride that people will call me to do that because that's pretty cool. It's like, hey, we want your food. I'm like, okay, so what kind of menu do you want? And generally they're like, we don't care. We want your food.
whatever you feed us.
Which is great. I'm like, cool. So
yeah, I've never had anything that you've served me that was not great. So
I've served some bad ones, but you live and you learn,
But I mean, just from my experience, man, everything's usually pretty killer, man.
Yeah.
So,
but you live and you learn. You try. Cooking is experimental. You know, it's still practice.
And I've kind of got that in my own life. I've learned to enjoy cooking and playing around with recipes and trying new things. And I had a steak where I put garam masala on it, and like it had a uniqueness to it that I thought was cool. And I just, I enjoy playing around with flavors like that.
Yeah,
so
it's cool to experiment. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and you never do it again. It's like there's no. I had someone explain it to me like it's just food.
Yeah.
Right. Like. Someone getting upset over $1 million deal is a lot different than somebody getting upset over $100 dinner.
Yeah.
So it's like
I've seen some people get pretty upset.
I have. Yeah. There's been some great YouTube videos at Waffle Houses for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it is different. It's just food. I like to teach or coach that way too. It's like, hey, calm down. It's just food.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't work this time, it's going to work next time. And you just got to remember to learn from it.
Well, and I love it that now you're teaching other folks too. And, when you were coming up, who were some of your biggest influences in the world of cooking?
I grew up in Bay County. So there wasn't a ton of chefs here at the time. D Brown's here. Chef Paul from Firefly was here. There was a chef at 30 Degree Blue. Her name was Shelly Cooper. She was an amazing chef too. There wasn't a whole lot of them here. Chef Amundi, like I got to eat their food as a kid. So that was kind of cool to see like how they were doing things. And then I knew at like 15 years old that I was going to be a chef or I was going to do something in hospitality.
Yeah.
And so locally, those people, I kind of always pay attention to them and always watch what they were doing. But from a global standpoint, there's Food Network used to be on TV at my house all day, every day. And that wasn't by my choosing. That was like what my grandma watched or what was just my mom was watching or, it's very casual television, right? So
for sure.
So then you get into like,
I like that it has a lightness to it too, because there's so much stuff on TV that is not, great for kids to be watching all that. And me and my kids will watch Food Network and, Guys Grocery Games we love watching and stuff. And it's, there's an educational element to it, but it's also light and it's okay.
Yeah. And I mean, there's the big one back in the day was Emerald, and he's still a big deal. Emerald's still a big deal. I love Anthony Bourdain. I really like that French style of cooking.
Yeah.
So a lot of the cooking I do has a lot of French background to it. Let's see here. I really like I followed a lot of steakhouses. So, and I still do. So anybody who's doing interesting, fun things with like wood fire, I love.
Yeah.
But I would say really it was a bunch of chefs. It was a bunch of creators. And some of them aren't even chefs, like Paula Deen used to be on the TV all the time.
Yeah.
And like you pick up a few things here or there from her, or pick up a few things from Emerald, or whoever was on Food Network at the time, because I didn't have the luxury of having a bunch of amazing chefs, like a wide amount of chefs in Bay County to learn from.
Yeah.
So,
well, we're all, I feel like we're all an accumulation of the people that we touch on in our lives. So I love that you've taken this from here and this from here and this from here, and that's made you what you are today.
Yeah.
And, I love that you've made a name for yourself in our community of putting together these menus that are creative and elegant and doing that sort of thing. So what's next for you?
I want to keep creating. I love doing dinner parties. I do have a show on that radio station at the college called Doing Dinner. I love talking about food. I love writing about food. Cooking food actually has kind of become secondary for me, because being able to inspire people to be better than me, right? We had some chefs that worked for me at a local restaurant called G. Foley's that now are pretty big deals. Like, a couple of them have Michelin stars. Like, one of them is running a place in Port St. Joe, Tehran Caesar, Michael Cummins. These kids that I got whenever they were 15, 16 years old in high school, and then like to watch them grow up, it's like, okay, like I don't want to be the best chef in Bay County. I want the people that I touch to be the best chefs in Bay County.
It's awesome to see people that you've touched on go on and do these great things.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And then that's more gratifying than anything.
Yeah.
Because you get these young people, and not all of them are going to end up cooking or being in restaurants.
Yeah.
But the ones that do, they're like the first round draft picks.
Yeah.
And you know it.
Yeah.
Like, you just know it. And I'm like, this guy's going to be amazing.
It's like
this
the
girl's gonna
NFL
be
coaching
amazing.
tree where like the coach has all these assistant coaches that work for him, and then they go on to all be head coaches. And,
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
that. Yeah.
And if we don't do it here, then who is going to do it here? So I kind of feel like that about my home, and maybe I don't ever do another restaurant in Bay County. I hope one day I will.
Yeah.
But if I get to inspire 30 restaurants, that's better than the one.
Well, and it's great for our community.
It is.
The more quality that we have in restaurants and chefs in our area, it just helps to grow what we are, and, nightlife, and, just the atmosphere of where we live.
Yeah.
Do you like where Panama City and Bay County is heading with our cuisine?
Oh yeah, I do. It is, Panama City is very much a slow and steady pace. And that's great, because it gives us time to fail. These great restaurant cities didn't just become that. Like, they messed up a lot. They had openings and closings. They figured out what was good for their area. They figured out what cuisine was working well for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're going. We're doing it the right way, especially with some of the things that are happening downtown. Allen Branch and Dan Magner, and some of the restaurants that they've had influence in are doing amazing things.
Yeah.
And some of the things that are happening on Panama City Beach with like Derek Langford at Hunt and Gather, like that's an amazing restaurant for our area. Like 20 years ago, I would have never thought that we would have something like that.
Yeah.
But like a couple chefs like put in the work and trained people, and then said, no, we can do this. We can have nice things too.
Yeah.
And I love the direction that it's going, especially with seafood, especially with new foods that are coming out, people trying new things. What's happening at Gulf Coast State College with the culinary program, there's been a huge influx of money coming into that program, because they want our area to be better, and they understand that that's like the incubator for it.
For sure.
So
that's awesome. I have personally felt like we're consistently getting more quantity and quality out of the restaurants that are coming in. Like downtown St. Andrews, to me especially, those places have really stood out that way.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. I mean, and then you see what works and you see what doesn't work. Like one of my favorite places to go is Alice's. I love Alice's.
Yep.
And I like
that grouper piccata, man.
and they do a great
Can't
job.
escape
You
it.
know, it's
So, yeah.
like Amy and those guys in the kitchen do a killer job.
Yeah.
And you know, Alice has built a great name for herself. And like she was a chef and owned restaurants in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But she chose to come home.
Yeah.
You know,
No, it's a great place.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have tried for a year now to replicate that grouper piccata recipe.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm close, but I'm not quite there. But man, it is slamming.
It is. It is. Or what's happening at Ferrucci's with Matt and Minta. Or,
Oh, yeah.
You know, like they took that place and just like, wow, like, look at it, you know? And to see those things happening is really inspiring for somebody like me who's been at it for a long time.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, now Matt and Minta's son's part of what's going on down there,
JP's
too.
in there,
Yeah,
you know?
So we got a whole new generation of folks coming up that are great chefs, you know?
That are going to be really, really good.
Yep.
So, which is cool. It's fun to watch. It is a unique time for us in Bay County with food and hospitality. Yeah. Because it's always been the beach lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that's fine and dandy, but now we have a viable downtown.
Nah, that's cool. I love what's happening on the town side of things. Yeah. It's really evolving pretty quick.
It really is. And it's really inspiring to watch. And then, you know, we have taco shops now, and we have things that 15
I think we have more taco trucks per capita than anywhere in the world.
Anywhere. And some of them are really, really good.
I want to go and hit like all of them over the course of like a month. Like every day, go hit a different taco truck. So maybe we could do a YouTube series where we go around and hit all the taco trucks.
We should, man. They don't get enough love. I'll tell you what. There's one on 15th Street.
They're legit though, man.
Oh, they're good.
Of them are really legit.
Yeah, there's a Guatemalan restaurant or food truck on 15th Street that makes these like hand pies. Mm-hmm. Dude,
is that by Dodge's? Is that
it's by a laundromat.
Yeah.
So kind of let's see, like the U-Haul place on 15th Street across from there.
Yep.
Across from there, and they make these hand pies, and they're fantastic.
All right, I'm gonna hit that up.
Oh,
man.
It's so good.
If you find a good taco truck, man, you text me, let me know.
Okay, I will. Yeah.
Nice. So, what is something about working in kitchens that most people just don't understand?
The intensity.
Yeah.
Because of some recent shows like The Bear, or there's a great one on TV called Karim that's on one of the streaming services that's about long time ago, 1850 chef. But the intensity is what people don't understand, and the longevity of it. Yeah. Because if you have, there's days where cooks walk into kitchens at 8 a.m. and don't leave till midnight, right? And that's more common than not.
It's grueling, man.
It's a very intense, hyper-focused business that a lot of things can go wrong. You're playing with sharp things. You're playing with fire. You're playing with things that have shelf lives, you know, that can go bad.
Upset customers, people with attitudes. I mean, you name it.
If you aren't a very intense person, it's hard to make it in a kitchen. Yeah. You can still be relaxed, but the intensity really never stops.
It's all of that.
Yeah.
And I've worked in restaurants for many years as a younger person before I got into my career I'm in now. But I remember there was some really crazy stuff that happens back in kitchens. I remember one time a dishwasher guy at one of the restaurants we had took a bus tub full of ramekins and threw it at our manager, and it was like a bomb went off in there. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, have you had crazy stuff like that happen in kitchens?
For sure. There's been, you know, people throwing things. Whenever I was a young cook, I went to school in South Florida in West Palm Beach, and I had this chef. He's amazing. He ended up buying this restaurant that I was working at. It was on Palm Beach Island, so it's very nice. Everything is very inflated in cost there, you know. So everybody takes everything very seriously, and so I remember one time he called me. I've had quite a few fun nicknames in kitchens. Ricky Bobby being one of them, Mater being one of them. And that is another thing is kitchens are fun, but they're also serious. Yeah. And I remember he was like Ricky Bobby, and he said a few things that we can't say on podcast. Yeah, for sure. And he ended up tossing a pan of clams Diablo at me, which is like, then it like went everywhere. And then I'm like, I'm sorry, chef. And it's like, normally back then when people would be like, oh, I'm out of here. And it's like, no, like I want to work for this guy. He clearly cares. Yeah. And he didn't mean any harm by it. Really, he was just like really upset with me it was because I burnt Jimmy Buffett's pizza.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
No, I burnt Jimmy Buffett's pizza. My claim to fame is I burnt Jimmy Buffett's pizza.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and we had an open kitchen, and you could see into the dining room. It was a restaurant with a lot of seats, but it wasn't very big.
Yeah.
And like Jimmy Buffett and his like crew is there.
Yeah.
And we did these grilled pizzettes. And so we would like put the pizza dough on the grill and then finish it in a wood fired oven. So it was very fast. Like this oven's 900 degrees. Mm-hmm. And I'd just like burn it. And like I didn't even know that I burn it. Like everything's happening so fast. And I just took it out, cut it, sent it out, and 30 seconds later it comes back to the kitchen and he's like, Ricky Bobby, you burnt Jimmy Buffett's pizza.
You never live that down.
Nope.
Never.
No. It was quite fun. But yeah, so things like that do happen. Like crazy things like burning Jimmy Buffett's pizza and getting clams Diablo thrown at you. Yes.
Well, and you're right. That intensity is always there because it has, especially in the higher end restaurants, it's got to be perfect every time.
Yeah.
You know? And I love watching the show The Bear, and that always has felt intense to me. That those episodes, you feel that tension. And how accurate do you think that is to a real life kitchen?
The Bear is very accurate. It's the most realistic that I've experienced or watched. You know, especially seasons 1 and 2. Season 1 is very real.
Yeah.
Season 2 is very real. And what happens in that show does happen in those hyper fine dining restaurants. And the like level of expertise and like dedication and focus that those cooks have and those people in hospitality have. And it's not just the kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's down to the back waiter, to the server. Everything is like to the T.
Yeah. I remember the episode about Richie polishing forks
for 12 hours.
And they were so intense about the polish on the fork being right, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
But it's that kind of detail.
There are some restaurants like that. Yes. And you can go eat at them. They're reservation based. Like I love to eat that way. I certainly can't do it all the time, but if I'm outside of Panama City, then I try to go eat at places just like that.
Yeah.
And you have a total different appreciation for it, especially if you're in the game, right?
Yeah, for sure.
If you're playing the game and you see stuff like that, you're like, wow.
Do you appreciate all those details?
Yeah, those little details we're teaching that stuff at Gulf Coast too. Like we do some really amazing food at Gulf Coast State College.
Like fine dining type things. Very cool.
We do.
Awesome. So what is one of your signature dishes that you feel that really defines you?
One of my favorite things to make is risotto. You know, it's Italian in style. And technique, but I feel it's very much us. Like we're a very homey, comfort food type of people here. And I feel like you can do whatever you want to with it. So I like making risotto. I love cooking grouper, especially cooking it whole. I like to do that. So grouper and risotto is pretty much something that's always been on my menus. And it just is so versatile. Yeah. And it kind of plays to who we are as a people here in Bay County because it's like this, it's rich, it's creamy, it's you know, got a bunch of butter in it. And like it has nothing to do with our location, but at least in style, it's very much us.
Yeah. It feels authentically us. Yeah. Do you think that Panama City will become a food destination at some point?
I think it's trying. I think it's giving it a good shot. Yeah. Because we have the resources to do that. As a community, we have some of the best seafood on the planet. You know, like we have certainly one of the best seafood houses on the Gulf Coast. Yep. And that company building restaurants is a very good thing because they're serving the products that they catch. Yeah.
Super fresh. I mean, very as fresh as it gets.
Yeah. And, you know, we take for granted that here, but to know that people from all around the country buy from them because it is so good. Yeah. And we could really make some waves, especially if we focus on the seafood here and do it the right way. I think it can do that. With a bustling downtown area, we have a pretty good shot.
Well, I love that you've historically done that to where your restaurants are supporting the community. What sort of things can our local restaurants do to support our community that way?
Buy local. take care of the locals. I've always been a local guy. I was never tourism based first, which isn't a bad thing. We need the tourism based restaurants as well. They feed large sums of people that come to our area. We have to have them. But
Well, and that supports the economy in many
supports
ways that
yeah,
way too.
yeah. I mean, it's great. It helps us grow, right? We wouldn't have a bustling downtown or be trying to do that if we didn't have tourism. So I think.
Well, it's not like the beach is so far that people can't come across the bridge and come see us in town for great cuisine too.
The bridge doesn't cost anything to cross it. Doesn't have an age limit or a time limit. It's like we can come and go. Like Bay County is Bay County.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of seen it as Bay County versus Panama City Beach, Lynn Haven, Callaway, Parker. Like I don't see it like that.
Yeah.
I see it as we're Bay County.
I don't think for other people that's a limitation. I can tell you when I go to other places and I visit other places and I go and find restaurants and I find a place that's got 600 reviews and it's a 4.9, I know it's slamming.
Yeah,
right?
it's good.
Like I'm going to travel 30 minutes to go to that restaurant
Absolutely.
because it's worth it to do it.
Yeah.
And that is definitely not a limitation for me. I think it's only a mental limitation for us locally because our brains see the bridge as this thing, but for our visitors, I just don't think it's that way.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah.
I think it's just for us that live here. And, I go over the bridge every day. So it's like, it doesn't matter to me. I think that we can really be an amazing place for food, especially seafood and especially local-based foods, because we do have resources that a lot of people don't have. We have the things here to build a base that could be really, really cool.
Really, really special.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm going to ask you the opposite of that question. What can our communities do to support our local restaurants?
I think one of the biggest things is understanding that food costs money, and it is expensive, especially to do it right. If you've seen the show The Bear, you've watched some television shows that are based on restaurants. Those places cost a lot of money to eat at, and the reason they cost a lot of money to eat at is because the ingredients that they're buying cost money. They have an inherent cost for being the best ingredients available.
Yep.
And as chefs and creators or people in hospitality, it's our job to serve you the best that we can in the most affordable manner. And just trying to understand that sometimes, your fish or your steak might be $50.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. It's not because we want it to be that.
Yeah.
It's because that's what it has to be.
We all see it, man. The grocery costs consistently are going up, and that same thing for restaurants. I mean, you guys are buying the same things we're getting from grocery stores that, those costs inflate, and you guys have to make money to stay in business.
It's expensive. And change it up. We all have our favorites, but the reality is there's a lot of restaurants here, and they all need to be supported, especially if they're putting in hard effort, and go out and support them. Try somewhere new tomorrow.
And I think, from my marketing background, one easy thing that people can do to promote and help a business, a restaurant here locally, is leave them a review. If you love a place, leave them a 5-star review, because that has so much weight with people looking at places to go. Easy thing. Leave them a review. Simplest thing you can do to help a restaurant.
Give them a 5-star review if you loved it. Give them a 4-star review.
Yep.
Any review is better than no review. Really, it truly is. And if you're gonna leave a review that isn't positive, at least give them some feedback to where they can learn from the experience. Don't just rip them to shreds, because a lot of times food is like right now. So we have emotions right now about it.
Yeah.
And if it's good, we're really happy. And if it's not good, we're really not very happy.
Yeah.
So wait a second. Write the review tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you're going to write a negative review, write it tomorrow.
Yeah, sit on it for the night.
Sit on it for the night and just be like, hey, it was a little lackluster. I see how this place could be great. Or just be mindful that there's people that work there, and there's people that create there, and there's people that, like, this is their livelihood. Yeah. And they are inherently people.
And it's not an easy lifestyle. I mean, you and I were talking before just, about how grueling the restaurant life can be, And how do you keep your passion for food alive through living that life every day and the physical and mental hurdles that you have to go through to do so?
It's really not about the passion for food. It's more about the passion for people. I get up and go to work every day, or I want to create a dinner party today, or I want to do something today, and it's not because I want to cook. It's because I want to feed people, or I want to make people happy. So the passion is in the people. That's why I do it.
Yeah.
And, getting people together and seeing them smile, or loving what I'm doing, or loving what the team is doing, is really why we do it. It's not because we inherently just love to cook. It's because we really love to feed people, or to put them in a position to where, they're happy and they're having a good time. And the best times are spent with, friends and family, enjoying a good time over food and drink. And think about every core memory you have. Usually food and drink is involved.
Yeah.
So that's really what it is. And yes, it's hard. It's immense hours. It takes immense brain power. And it takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
You just don't wake up tomorrow and make great sourdough bread.
When the consistency, to be able to replicate that day in, day out, it really takes a lot of effort.
And get used to failure.
Yeah.
Get used to failure.
Yeah.
You're going to fail in this business more than you're going to succeed.
That is the number one topic that we talk about on this show above anything else. Is in business, in our work life, you're going to come across failure, and that cannot be the end for you. It has to be a positive learning point for you, where it pushes you to continue to get better. I think we've talked about it every single episode, how important failure is.
Get used to not succeeding sometimes, because sometimes you're not. And that's just the fact of the matter. Sometimes the cheeseburger isn't going to come out the way you want it to.
Sometimes you're going to burn Jimmy Buffett's pizza.
Sometimes you will burn Jimmy Buffett's pizza. and you will never do that again.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then sometimes you make mistakes more than once or twice because you're tweaking it. We're not just following a recipe every day. Sometimes the tomato doesn't come in, and then you got to pivot. You got to change.
You got to pivot. You got to learn to be flexible. So when you're not at work, what do you do to find time to relax and decompress?
A lot of people don't know this, but I paint.
Nice. I did not know that.
No, a lot of people don't. I like to paint flowers.
Yeah.
So I love flowers for some reason. I just love all flowers. Always have fresh flowers.
Yeah.
I also like to write, and I write a lot.
Yeah.
Whether
Remember
it's
us talking about that.
Yeah. Whether it's about food or about lifestyles or whatever's going on. And then recently I've been trying to spend a lot of time in water. Just like relaxing. Yeah. Taking some time out or going out to eat. I love that. Yeah. That's one of my favorite things to do.
Let other people cook.
Let other people cook for me. It's one of my favorite things to do. I've traveled a lot recently, going to Memphis this week. Let's see, I was in Minneapolis, Minnesota last year. I was in Napa, Sonoma, Mendocino County last year. I've recently been to New Orleans, just in Tampa. Like anywhere I can go and see what they're doing or experience a new restaurant or something, I love to do that. And that helps keep the passion and drive alive, because nothing will make you want to get better than to see somebody doing it better than you.
Yeah, it's inspiring. Yeah.
To watch someone do it better than you will make you better. Yeah. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like you walk into a great restaurant and you're like, we can do this.
Man, that's incredible.
Yeah. We can do this. We can figure this out. So, or learning something and seeing it for the first time, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So, and then trying to put your own spin on it or take it somewhere else.
Well, and that's just the evolution of, who you become as a chef that way. You just are constantly looking and seeing things and, incorporating those elements like you talked about just a little bit ago. Yeah.
And like one of my favorite places in the world is this restaurant in Tampa called Roca. And I love cheese. Recently, a couple years ago, I started really getting into cheese and learning about cheese. And at Roca, they have a mozzarella cart where they make the mozzarella tableside in front of you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they make it, they stretch it, they pull it, they plate it for you at the table.
Nice.
And I was like, well, I want to learn how to do that, And so I've made mozzarella before, but then finding a local producer of cream and milk in Panama City, and then, finding the rennet, and then teaching everyone at the school to do it, and or teaching another restaurant in town, hey, this is how you do this. Or I'll get a text message. Usually about once a day, I get a text message from someone who works in restaurants asking me how to do something.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I think that's like, that's kind of like a cool, successful little thing for me. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you know?
Isn't it weird being on that side though? You
Yeah,
know?
it is. It's
Yeah.
like, okay.
Kevin Elliott and I were talking a couple weeks back about just how weird it feels to be the elder, being a mentor now
Yeah.
to people, but it's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really cool that people ask you advice on like, hey, what should I do here? Or, you know, hey, what do you think I should do to elevate my career? Like, that's really cool
It
that
is.
somebody would ask you that.
And sometimes it's you don't know the answer to give them, but you know the answer not to give them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, I don't know what you should do there, but I can tell you what you should not do there. And like to have that experience too is a lot of fun. And it's and then it helps you as a person look back on like, okay, well, I didn't think of that, but I did it this way and it didn't work for me. So I know you shouldn't do it like this. But we can like troubleshoot together on
And
how
hopefully,
it should
hopefully you've saved them some grief
Yeah,
in their
at
life.
least,
And,
at least,
you know,
yeah.
get them there a little faster.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You know,
Yep.
if you know, if your train leaves the station faster than mine, good. Like that's what I want.
Yeah.
You know, because
Well, I'm glad you can celebrate other people's successes that way, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to see it happening is awesome because I get to go eat there or I get to go to their parties or, you know, like, or I get to be at the fundraiser and not the one catering it.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun.
Nice. Awesome. So let me ask you a question. If your life was a TV show, okay, what would the audience be screaming at you to do?
The audience would be screaming at me to do another restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they would probably be screaming at me to do, or just get it together in general. Like, but you know, it's fun to say that my 30s were my 20s and my 20s were my 30s.
Yeah.
So hopefully I'm about to be 40 here pretty soon. Hopefully my 40s are like
young,
great.
man.
You know, yeah. Hopefully my 40s are great. But yeah, that's probably what they would be doing is like, do what you love.
Yeah.
Just do what you love, Chris.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to remind myself of that. It's like, okay, do I love doing this? If I don't, I'm not going to do it.
You know, life finds a way of working out if you follow really where your heart's at, man.
Yeah.
And, you know, man, I would have never thought that some of the things that I'm doing in my career, I'm doing like doing this stuff, you know, but it's something that, you know, you truly enjoy and you follow that path.
Yeah.
And life finds a way of making it work.
It does. It does. And it's, I mean, I have a story I tell about you because we met, let's see, probably 2013. I think maybe 2012.
Yeah.
Even.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it was at the time that G Foley's was opening and we were looking for someone to do marketing. And at the time it was just you. You know, you didn't have this big, beautiful building with your name on it. You worked for that. Congratulations. It's awesome.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, and it has a beautiful mural on the side of it. I think you were one of the first people to have a mural in downtown. It was like I saw it and I'm like, wow, what is that?
Yeah, that's Heather Clement's work,
she's
man.
awesome.
She's brilliant.
Awesome. Really amazing. We have some amazing artists in Bay County. Really amazing creators. But I remember you coming in and we were all sitting there and I'm like, this is the guy we need to hire. And like I think you had a laptop. I think it was I don't know
Probably
what it was.
A spiral notepad or something.
No, it was a yellow notepad. I'll never forget
Yeah,
it. It was a yellow notepad, a pen, and a laptop. And that's all you brought with you. And I'm like, you just talked with so much passion about helping people grow.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is the guy we got to hire.
Yeah.
And it didn't end up happening. But then 15, 20 years later, I see what you have built for yourself. And I'm like, I told him we should have hired him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, because you just know being able to evaluate talent and passion in someone quickly is like one of the few things that I think I do right all the time.
Yeah, very cool.
You know, and just seeing that from people and then buying into them is awesome.
I always feel like you can tell when somebody cares about what they do.
Yeah, you can.
know? And I definitely see that in what you do, man.
Yeah.
There is love in your work.
Yeah.
Right. And I think when you care about taking care of people and seeing people succeed, you know, you can never go wrong there.
Yeah.
You know? And I will tell you, when we help a client to grow and get better, man, I love it. You know, when they are kicking butt and they're doing great things, their business is expanding and they're hiring people, man, that's success.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah.
we in turn as a business are successful because we're doing that work and helping them. But seeing other people succeed in our community and our community getting better and our connections in our community getting, tighter that way, those are the successes that are out there.
Yeah.
When we're helping somebody feed their kids and, raise their families and all that, like that's success.
It is. And connecting the people to see it.
Yeah.
You connect your clients to success. It's very personal for you.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. Like you're like, oh, I have someone in mind for this, or I can help you do this in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to see their success on the back end. Most things that people don't even see, how many website views they get, how many back end views they get.
Yeah. Fortunately, my stuff is quantifiable to where we can literally see metrics that we know.
Yeah. You can look at it. But for us, it's like, for me, it's like we started with what, 1 or 2 nice restaurants or what we would consider higher end places. And now we have like casual restaurants doing really high end food.
Yeah.
And, over 20 years of doing this in Bay County, it's like, wow, I had a little part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like feels good.
That's cool. Like maybe not directly, but 2 other cooks worked for me, or
both directly and indirectly, man. From the things that you've done.
And then that's a lot of fun, like to see whenever we first started, it was just one farmer's market.
Yeah.
Whenever I was shopping at the farm at G. Foley's, it's just one farmer's market.
Yeah.
And then we got 2, and then we got 3, and now we got like 9 of them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, oh, cool. People go to the farmer's markets now,
Mm-hmm.
and I try to be there every Saturday and just to see what's growing. That's the best way to do it, is get down there and see what's growing.
Yeah.
Ask them, did you grow this?
Yep.
Where's this from?
Very cool.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. What is your favorite guilty pleasure meal?
that one's the easy one.
Yeah.
It's Bush's baked beans.
Yeah. Nice.
With Nathan's all beef hot dogs cut up in them.
Oh, nice.
And Velveeta macaroni and cheese, the nuclear orange box.
That's like when you were 10, man. Yeah.
It's like when I was 38.
Yeah,
like it's still delicious. It's like the meal that just like I love. It's a lot of people were like, "What? That's crazy," but it's delicious. All at the same time.
Yeah.
All of those things at the same time.
That's great stuff.
Yeah. I love hot dogs. I like Bush's baked beans. I love mac and cheese. And I'm not sure what's in it, but Velveeta makes a great one.
Reminds me of your childhood,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like that's, that there's something to be said there, like those comfort things that bring you that. So
I really like Payday candy bars as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love them.
I always like the traditional Reese's peanut butter cups, like the original, like 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah.
Like the Easter ones are fine where they got more peanut butter in them. But to me, the Reese's standard issue peanut butter cup, you can't, man.
It's like sweet and chocolatey and peanut buttery and salty.
Yeah.
It's like umami candy. It's like, it's really, really, it's really delicious when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
what kind of feeling do you want people to have when they eat your food, man?
I want them to have the sense of enjoyment. I just want them to enjoy it, whether that they get it from a fulfilling standpoint or they're big foodies and they like experimental food or fun food that they've never had before.
Mm-hmm.
I just want them to enjoy it. That's it. My goal is for them to enjoy it.
So it doesn't have to be the same thing for each person.
Nope.
Just that? Okay.
Yeah. And
Cool.
just like every restaurant's different, every diner is different, every customer is different, every client is different.
Yeah.
So
well, even within the same restaurant, people come in with varying levels of,
sometimes tables,
food sophistication and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Sometimes you might have a table of 5 or 6 people.
Yeah.
And they might all 5 get different things, and maybe you have allergies here and like to try to play the chess game and make everyone happy is hard because we're told in life that you can't make everyone happy. But I will spend the rest of my life trying to do that on a certain scale.
Yeah.
Because
well,
that's what I love.
In,
that's what I love to do. I love to make people happy.
Yeah.
So
what's the best advice that you've ever had?
It was probably it was from one of my mentors, and his name was George Hewsome. And I, like most chefs, we could be fairly hot-headed in a lot of sense. But George set me down one day. George Hewsome, who is the manager and proprietor of Chief Foley's and Outback, shaped a lot of food in this town. We should give him a lot more credit than what he has.
Touched a lot of lives.
Touched a lot of lives, employed a lot of people, and did a lot of great things for a lot of people who needed it. And he sat me down and he was like, Chris, listen, it doesn't matter how talented you are. He's like, if you can't treat people with kindness, understanding, and respect, they will never work for you.
Yeah.
So I try to treat everyone with kindness, understanding, and respect. That doesn't mean that it always happens.
Yeah.
But we at least try.
Yeah.
You know, like try to understand where they come from, treat them with respect, treat them with kindness, because all of our roads are different, right? Like the road, not everyone's road is the same.
No.
And he sat me down and he's like, kindness, understanding, and respect.
And that's not something that people get everywhere, sadly.
Yeah. So, sometimes we fail at it, and that's okay. And then that's the ability to apologize or accept responsibility for your screw ups.
Yeah.
Which I've done plenty of. But George sat me down and told me that. He's like, you're one of the most talented people I know.
Yeah.
If you could just learn these 3 things, kindness, understanding, respect,
yeah,
you will go anywhere you want.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's the best advice I ever received.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And it had nothing to do with business, because
that's a life thing though.
It is. Yeah. From a business standpoint, I don't know. Read the red ink.
Don't burn Jimmy Buffett's pizza.
Don't burn. Yeah. Read the small print, which I'm not very good at. Like that's what there's attorneys for. Like I'm not an attorney, like I'm a chef. Find an attorney, let them do the work for you if you're going to be in partnerships, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. What's something in life you could never live without?
Caviar.
Yeah. Nice.
or love.
Yeah.
Caviar and love, the 2 things I could never live without.
We had a conversation yesterday on a podcast recording, and we talked a lot about love of just people, and I think, it's loving yourself and doing the things that you really care about, and then that, reaches out to all those other stuff.
It does. And I love to love. Like I like loving things. I like to have a big heart. I like to share. Sometimes to my own detriment. But yeah, it's just.
If you're gonna fail though, like I would rather get burned that way than get burned a different way.
Yeah. So and that's what it is. Caviar and love, I think they're together. Maybe champagne, thing, French fries. Like now that I think about it, Aaron, there's a lot of things that I can't live without.
Caviar,
French fries, caviar, champagne, and love.
I would say jalapeno popper smash burgers for me. So
it sounds like Valentine's Day. I wish every day was Valentine's Day. Apparently. Yeah.
So when people look back at your impact in the culinary world, what do you want them to say about it?
He tried.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were scared too.
Yeah.
A lot of people were scared to try or put themselves out there.
Yeah.
I don't have to be, I'm a firm believer that success is personal. I don't think that society gets to decide whether we feel successful or not. But I would love for people to say he tried.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
Like he went out there and put himself out there in a community that at the time was really unshaped by food.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I have 5 restaurants, 1 restaurant, or no restaurants. It doesn't matter. I just want people to be like, without him, we wouldn't be where we were today.
Yeah.
And he tried.
And you've definitely done that, Chris.
Yeah.
You've touched in so many different ways, working with nonprofit organizations and, being involved in different restaurants and elevating other people's careers and setting them on the path. Like you've been there.
Yeah.
And you're still early on, man. There's so much more you have in front of you too.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see all of what you have in front of you and where you go next, because I know there's more greatness there that you're going to do.
Oh, for sure. I always teach my cooks, your career, if you choose to do this, is going to be a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you, at the top, it's a lot of fun. and it's a little bit fun whenever you start diving down the other side. But when you get to the bottom of the roller coaster, it ain't fun no more. You know. And but guess what? There's another hill coming,
and a couple of loop-de-loops.
There might be loop-de-loops. There might be a corkscrew. Like depending on what theme park you're at, it could be a little rickety. Like so,
Made
just
of wood,
expect
and it's
it.
swaying a little bit. There's a bolt missing.
Expect your career to be a roller coaster. Because that's what it is. It could be up here one moment and down here the next. The thing is, people in hospitality are very resilient people. And we do it because we love people. So it's easy to get back up on the hill. But it's easy to fall off of it too. So I love to tell them that, and that's usually one of the first things I teach them in culinary school. Is expect this career to be a roller coaster. And just know that whatever your level of success is, wherever you want to be, there's going to be some bumps. There's going to be hills. There's going to be loop-de-loops. All those things are going to happen. It's not ever going to be perfect. And yes, you're going to cut yourself. Yes, you're going to get burned. Yes, you're going to slip. Yes, you're going to drop something on the ground. Yes, you're going to be very frustrated. But just focus on the good and get there.
And never burn Jimmy Buffett's pizza.
Don't ever burn Jimmy Buffett's pizza. You will get things thrown at you. I can't pass a Margaritaville or anything. Like I can't hear it.
Do you get like twitchy when
you
drop?
It's like one of those moments in your head. You're like, oh, great. But John Kent throwing that at me. He's an awesome chef. He still owns that restaurant. And I learned a lot there.
I bet.
The number one thing I learned there was when to stop talking, which I still haven't figured out quite yet. But just be quiet. Like he had a look. You probably had like a mother or a dad or a grandparent that had a look. Chefs have looks too, and it's just like, and I'm like, oh my God, he's scary. But when to not talk.
Yes, it's important, man. Awesome. Well, man, I definitely appreciate you sharing your stories with me today and telling me about how you got to the point in your career that you're at, man. I love watching you and the things that you do, and I definitely love eating your food, so I look forward to more of that in the future.
Yeah, thanks.
Man, I appreciate you being on today.
Absolutely. It was a great time.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, y'all, thank you for joining us on another episode of A Road to Rich. Please tune in again next time.